And so I want to share a little bit about that. Hopefully this week, today, you've taken some action towards your dreams. You've not just been dreaming, but you've been doing as well. Um, that's the only way things are going to get done. Last night we talked about you seeing enough value in yourself that you would actually go out and do something, that you would take action because you see value in yourself. And so tonight's topic, as we talk about a little bit about fears and how fears can help us, I believe we're going to be able to move forward and take some action. So let's take a trip down memory lane. And there was a time that I was highly afraid of talking to girls, and I would sit and I would be like, I can remember being in middle school and there being like school dances and things going on. And I used to be around, like, I had my friends, my teammates, other guys that I was around, and they could walk up to girls and they would just start talking to them. And it was like, it was so natural and easy and so smooth. And they would have these dialogues, and the next thing you know, the girl would be dancing with them, or they're getting the girl's phone number. Back in the day, I used to go to the skating rink. That used to be my place. I used to hang out at the skating rink. We would go there on Thursday nights. We would go to the skating rink, and we would go skating. And I was, I'd be there with my friends. And they would go talk to girls, and I never would. I was intimidated. I was afraid of going out and trying to talk to a girl. I didn't know through life. This wasn't just middle school, high school, really up until college, and even, probably somewhat into adulthood. I really didn't. I didn't understand. I'm like, what in the world do you say when you walk up that gets you to have this conversation and things are going so good? How do you get numbers? Right? How do you get a girl's phone number? Because that was never my approach. And so I figured out for myself, I was like, all right, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that's going to walk up and get a girl's phone number. I'm just not. I said, so if I'm ever going to get a date or whatever, it's going to have to come off of a referral. I was like, I'm going to be a referral-based relationship dude that I'll have my female friends and, they'll make a referral for me. So I actually started to cultivate a mindset that was, it was kind of centered around this idea that I wanted to be such a good friend to the girls that I knew that they would actually say to someone else, hey, what about Brian? I want you to meet Brian. I want to hook you up. And this actually happened in my life. I had a friend, one day she was walking down the hallway, and we were in high school. We were walking down the hallway, and she had these pictures. And I was looking over her shoulder. I was like, who is that? And she said, oh, that's my friend. I'm not going to say her name because we're still friends to this day. And she could be watching live right now. So if she is, she can comment and it's all good. But I said, who's that? And she said, that's my friend. I said, oh, I want to meet her. She said, oh, I'll introduce you to her. And so she went and she hooked me up with her girlfriend. She said, I'm going to bring her to your football game. Wait, was it football? No, she brought her to a baseball game. She said, I'm going to bring her to one of the games. I think it was football. Yeah, I think it was actually football. She said, I'm bringing her to your football game. So she came to her friend. She brought her friend to the football game. And so she was there. And so after the game was over, I came out of the locker room and I was, we're talking. I introduced myself and all that. And then, and she said, so I ended up asking her for her number. I was like, would it be okay if I asked you for your phone number? She said, that's why I'm here. I was like, okay, fantastic. My point is, so this young lady and I went on to have a nice little relationship too for a number of years. And to this day, we are still friends and still connected, which is cool. I love that about, being able to have those kind of relationships. But I knew I was referral based. I did not know what to say going up to someone and just starting the conversation. I didn't know what to say to a woman. I was like, what do I have to offer? And I used to ask myself these questions, and I'm going to tie this all into business and entrepreneurship and our dreams and our hopes and what we want to do. Because ultimately what I figured out was the reason that I was struggling was because I didn't have anything to give. See, when you serve first, I learned this later on, when you serve first, it takes away all the pressure of this whole interaction. See, a lot of times I was thinking, oh, I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to get her phone number. No, this is a rookie mistake. I was trying to get a phone number. No, that's rookie mistake. It wasn't about trying to get. How could I started to learn as I developed, how could I add value? How could I lead with value, something that added to this person's life? Someone that I was, obviously when you first see somebody, it's on a surface level. You look at them and yeah, it might be physical attraction. Nothing wrong with that. Like that is the first most superficial level of connection. You can see someone, you're interacting with them on a superficial level. This is the point of relationships. Relationships mean that we get to change how we relate to someone as something grows in depth and connection. So it's okay to have a superficial connection at first. That's where all relationships start. But how do we grow it? How do we make that connection? And so I determined if I served first, I was like, that eliminates the problem. In my adult years, I grew and I began to understand that if I gave first, it opened up the doors of opportunity. It opened up the doors to connection. This same young man, myself, that used to be afraid of girls, talking to girls. I mean, I was like palm sweaty, nervous, nerdy, geeky, afraid. Right? I was like very much afraid. Right? So later on in life and today, I learned, I'm like, wait a second. If I approach a woman not trying to get something, but what can I add? It changes the dynamics because now this woman is not on guard. She's not worried about me violating by just taking something out of her life. And I learned this. I was able to open in my life. I started a women's training program and women's empowerment programs. And here's the kicker. I developed relationships with the same people that I used to be afraid of because I could look at someone's life and say, I have something that I can give to offer to enhance this person's life. See, if we look at someone, I didn't look at women and say, oh, they need me or else they won't be able to. No, it wasn't about that. No. It was, I see this woman. She has a dream. I can help. I see this woman. She said, I want to lose 100 pounds. I can help. This woman, she wants to start a business. I can help. So it goes back to, how may I help you? I realize if someone's carrying a lot of bags, and then I say, excuse me, ma'am, can I open the door for you? Oh, I can help. See, it wasn't, I had it messed up. Those guys, I don't know, I still to this day don't know what they would say when they would just walk up. But I figured out for me, what worked for me was, I don't need to, I'm not trying to get something from her. I'm not trying to get her phone number. No, it's much more than that. I want to see if there is something that I can add to your life that actually enriches your life, and we can have a connection that is mutually enriching. I'm not trying to take from you. I don't even want to be in your life if I can't add to you. And it starts to change the mindset, the mentality. When you say, this is what I say. I don't want to be in your life if I can't add to you. I mean, that goes for each and every person that's on this call, each and every person that I meet. If I cannot add value, I don't need to be there. I don't want to just occupy space. I certainly am not trying to be the person that's taking something from your life and leaving you void. If I'm asking you for something, if there's going to be an exchange, there has to be an exchange, right? The women that would come to my gym and they were in my gym, they say, Brian, I want, and see, that leads the conversation. See, the conversation is led by what they want, not by what I want. See, I want this. I want to become more healthy. I want to lose some weight. It's not on me to walk up to somebody and say, hey, you need to lose weight. No. That's me putting something on them. That's me taking something from them that they did not even volunteer. No. That's not how this thing works. If we're going to build relationship, you can build relationship value first. What can you add to someone else's life? What do you see before you ever start talking to them and engaging with them that can add to their life? See, when you start, and here's what this does. When you start thinking this way, it's going to cause you to look inside and really evaluate yourself. It's going to cause you to think, what do I have to offer? What value do I have? And when you start saying that you're going to be in a relationship with someone and you're going to lead with value, that means you have to discover value within yourself. See, I had low self-esteem. I didn't really realize it back then, but I did. I had low self-esteem back in the day for a long time. And you've heard me say it. Some of you have heard me say it. I would walk around with my head down because I was so ashamed of my face, because of my lips, and being ridiculed about them, that I didn't want to approach anyone. I really didn't want to be seen. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fantastic how other people could be so naturally comfortable with like someone that's a new person. I thought it was amazing. I was like, this is like a superpower. But a part of the issue was I didn't see value in myself. I didn't look at myself as a person that could add value. So the girl that I thought was the real pretty girl, couldn't. Nope. I would miss the opportunity thinking I had nothing to give. But it all changes. It all starts to change when you start to look at yourself as a person of value, and you look at yourself to say, how can I add value to this person's life so that their life is enhanced in any relationship? It could be marriage, it could be a dating situation, it could be in business, anywhere you go. You've seen me probably with my animals, with my horses. It's not just for one person. It's not only for romantic love. No, it starts to become a way of life and just a mindset that you carry, that you are a person of value. Where you show up, value is added because you are a person of value. That's an internal thing. Internal. You have to get it right on the inside. I didn't have it right. I was scared. I was scared because I didn't think I had anything to offer. And then check this out. Once you find out that you have something to offer, if you still don't really build up your self-worth and self-esteem, you will allow people to take full advantage of what you have to offer and not require anything back. That's wrong too. See, that's a flawed mentality too, and that goes back to that low self-esteem mindset. Because when you add value, someone should return value. There should be an exchange. I'm not a person, and you can argue me in the comments if you want, but I'm not a person that believes in giving without expecting something back. I don't think that's natural. Matter of fact, we prove that it's not natural by going into nature. If you plant a seed, the seed is going to draw something out of the soil, but it's also going to return something to the soil. Everything in nature has a job and a responsibility for receiving and giving. That's the only way it works. Trees, they receive something, they give off something. Flowers, bees, everything. So this idea that you give and you don't expect anything back, I don't subscribe to it. Because I think it breaks down the natural cycle of life, even living. So we are alive, we're consuming, we're supposed to make a deposit back into the earth. When our bodies are returned to the ground, guess what? When we become soil food, we're going to give something to the ground is going to receive something from us, and then the ground has the responsibility of then taking what it received and giving it to something else so that something else can live. There should always be an exchange. You should always, whether or not, like, If you are loving somebody and caring for someone, then yeah, you should expect something back. Even if it's something as simple as a smile. You're like, hey, I'm doing this because I want this person to smile. Have a reason for doing what you're doing. Yeah, it comes back to worthiness. When you feel that you are unworthy, when you don't have enough self-value, that's your way of actually like not putting your heart in harm's way. When you say, "Oh, I don't expect anything back," the reason you do that is because part of you believes, "I'm not going to get anything back. This person or this situation is not going to return to me." And ultimately, that means you're pouring out from your cup, and your cup has nothing being returned to it, which means your cup is going to be empty. And that's a bad idea. See, that's where your relationships go to the wrong direction and your relationships break up. And then you end up with a whole different situation for a lack of trust. I went from low self-esteem and not trusting and not wanting to talk to girls and being afraid to you get into some bad situations. You get heartbroken because that self-esteem wasn't dealt with on this side, on this other side, and now you're going through it again. So I've learned, look, up front, yeah, absolutely. I believe we are designed to serve. We are designed to give. But there's something that should be returned. I had to learn this. Like, no, Brian, you're worthy of someone giving back to you. And if you're willing to pour out into someone's life and they don't want to pour back in, we might as well start preparing for the end of this relationship. Because while I might say that it's okay, internally it's not going to be okay. Because here's the problem. You're pouring out, nothing's coming back in. Now you're going to get to this place of emptiness. This place of emptiness is going to lead you to a place where you want to be filled. And then you can become desperate. Because now you're like, I'm so empty. I feel so devalued that now whenever some little inkling of value comes your way, it's like you're in the desert and you are, dying of thirst. And you're like, oh my God, that was so good. I needed a drop. We're not meant to operate out of the place of desperation. We're not meant to operate out of that place. That is a dangerous place to operate out of. A desperate place. So when you go into your relationships, realize, yes, you have something of value to give, and you are worthy to receive. Like, don't forget that part. You're not just the giver. You're not only the person that's meant to give. No, that is no. And listen, I hang around, different types of people. And so sometimes people that are like more Bible-based people, they would argue it. And to that, I say, not even Jesus. Not even Jesus said, I'm giving without the expectation of a return. If you look in the Bible, that's not what it says. Like, Jesus was like, hey, I'll give you my life, but this is what I expect. I expect your life in return. I want you to live this life of love. I want to be able to see your life be fully transformed. So Jesus was like, hey, yeah, I'll redeem you. I can save you from living this low life, but the price that I'm going to pay means that you're supposed to live this life of love. You're supposed to live a high impact life. So however you look at it, from nature to the Bible to just what I think is just common sense, we're supposed to give. We are supposed to receive. Some would say, well, but it's better to give than it is to receive. Now, check this out. In order to give, somebody has to receive. There is no giving without reception. This is why they have to be important. See, giving says, yeah, I have to release something, but somebody has to receive something. So let's not get it twisted. In every relationship, there's this pattern. Man gives seed, woman says, I give a child. Right? There's a deposit. There's a deposit of seed, there's a return of a baby, perhaps, in some situations. Giving and receiving, there's just a cycle. If someone's pouring love on you, and if they're loving on you, and you have these broken places and you're hurting places, perhaps they are loving on you, wanting to receive from you a person that has been healed, a person that is no longer heartbroken. Think about it. What's the purpose of the love? What's the purpose of the relationship? I'm planting seeds. I'm planting flowers. I'm planting, tomato plants. What's the purpose? I'm giving to the soil something because I want it to return to me back its fruit. What do you want? What do you want from the relationship? It changed my life when I realized, here's what I want from these women. Here's what I want. When I talk to women, here's what I want. I have a game plan. I have a strategy because I want to be the man that enters into their life that can serve the greatest potential that they have, their greatest dreams, their greatest hopes. I want to be that guy. I'm not trying to go on dates with you. No. That's not my objective. My objective is I want to be able to serve so that you can see your greatest dreams achieved. See, this is why I don't have to worry, because I can meet any woman, any place, talk with her, find out what her dreams are, and then say, how can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you get there? And when you're done with me, you're like, he helped me, then you move on. See, there's this thing, I'm not trying to enslave people to me. I don't need people to be dependent upon me. No, that's not what I want. I want to be able to make a deposit so that someone is stronger and they're able to go. I was out today hanging out with a group of young ladies. They're at the bar, and they're my students at the bar. A couple of them have been with me a number of years already. And then this week, I opened up the opportunity for some new girls to join in, right? And so because I had been making an investment in depositing and teaching these other girls that have been there for a while, this week I was able to step back and I was able to say, okay, now this is your opportunity to teach them. Why? Because the objective is the program itself wants to build up their self-esteem, their confidence, their knowledge base so that they can go, so that they can do it on their own. So now they can saddle up a horse, they can help, they were helping each other up on the horse. See, if I die today, and Lord, please, I don't want to, but if I die today, I know that they can feed the horses tomorrow, they can saddle up and ride and honor me, and they can be so sad that Mr. Brian is not here anymore, but they could ride, they can do it. Because it wasn't about what I could take from them. It was about how can I serve? Every single relationship can be like this. Is it going to cost you something? Yeah, it does cost you something, but it's so worth it. Let me just say this, love is worth it. Like when you start loving life, love is worth it. Love is going to require something of you. Your time, your energy, your effort, your patience. Love is going to protection. Love is going to require something of you. But then when you go through this process, love is going to return something back to you. I was able to sit and just like smile as these girls who did not know each other 4 days ago were there today. Like, just, you would have thought they had been friends forever. They were just laughing and giggling and talking, playing in the rain, living their best lives in the barn, cleaning out buckets. One little girl said, well, can I sweep? Every relationship can be that way. When you make your deposit, not looking for what you can take, but for looking for what you can add, it changes the whole game. But you have to become that person of value. Right? You have to know that you have something to give. And here's what you have. You have an experience, you have knowledge, you have insight, you have time. When you bring that to the table and you give it to someone, you deposit it because you want to see them enriched. Listen, it's a life-changing approach. This is how I overcame fear. And I laugh. There are times that I laugh because I went from being a boy who would get clammy, sweaty hands standing next to the girl that I thought was cute. Like, she'd be in church and I was in church, and if I knew I was going over to her church and I was going to see her, I would be a nervous wreck. We're friends now. She knows this. I would be a nervous wreck. I didn't think I was good enough. I thought she was way too good for me. I had to break that. I had to break that kind of thinking. I had to destroy that because it was me devaluing myself. And sometimes that's an approach that we can have. We think that we're not good enough. And when we think it, then we start to embody that and then we act that way. But now, I'm not intimidated by any woman. I'm not intimidated by any person because I believe that the gift in me can help someone. Somebody might say no. A lot of people might say no. But that's okay. I know that I can help someone. Right? What do you know about yourself? I mean, what do you know that you know that you know that you know about yourself? Like I said, I know that I can help someone. I know my nature is that I'm a helper. Right? It's not beneath me to carry someone's bag so it makes me, I'm so comfortable. I'm so comfortable being who I am because I know I can help you. Right? How can I help you? I know I can. It starts to eliminate that fear factor. When you know that you know that you know that you know who you are, what you have to give, what you work on, how you think, all of it. When you bring all that to the table, you start to realize you are a one of one. You start to realize when someone has the opportunity to see, this is how it changes. See, I wasn't trying to get someone's phone number anymore. I realized, like, I get a lot of phone numbers. I have a database of thousands of women's phone numbers now. This is from a boy that used to be afraid of talking to girls. So how do I go from being a young man that was afraid to being a man that can have thousands of phone numbers? I learned how to help. I learned how to meet a need. Started out, I learned how to ask questions. I learned how to pay attention. I went to school. I went to school to learn how to serve people. I went to massage therapy school, right? After undergrad, I went to massage therapy school and I learned how to become a massage therapist. In that process, you know what I learned? I learned how to help someone feel comfortable and safe in their most vulnerable moments. What's the most vulnerable moment? Having no clothes on and laying down on the table, being in a room with a person that you just met. Think about this. I used to be afraid But I go through this process because I want to make an impact. So I wanted to learn how to serve someone in their most vulnerable moments. What I learned in principle in massage therapy school translated into everyday life. Every person has vulnerable places. So how can I help someone feel comfortable in their vulnerable place? This is what we all have. When you start looking at the skills you've actually developed along the way, you can use that. So I'm a person that has the skills of helping other people feel comfortable in places of vulnerability. What do you have? What skills, what training, what insights? I can apply it now. I recognize it now. Okay, this person is this way because they're afraid. They've been hurt. Okay, what do I need to do? Right? Now I realize I'm like, I probably don't want to go up and just walk up and talk to someone. Not to get their phone number. No, probably not. I could. Maybe I don't want to. I learned the power of a referral. Here's what I learned about women. I learned that they would be friends with a dude, like they would date a dude that's a jerk. Women would date dudes that were just bad dudes. It's not good to them. I learned that women would date a dude that was no good, but I learned they would not be friends with them. Major difference. Major difference. So I said, I want to become the friend. I want to be the guy that they would be friends with. See, when I learned that if I could become the friend, that says way more than getting the date. Because they'll date some dudes that just are not good. And I learned this. One day I'm sitting in the back of the bus with my teammates. We're riding along, and they're having conversations about girls that they had sexual intimacy with. And I'm listening, and they're bragging. Then I chimed in. I said, here's what's funny about this. Here's what's interesting about this. I said, those same girls have given you their bodies, but they trust their heart with me. They don't even talk to you guys. They might do some things with you, but they don't talk to you. I have open-hearted conversations with them. So I know more about them than you do. And then, they're like, but it doesn't even matter. Like, I got what I wanted. But I learned something along the way. Yeah, Josh Production is writing another chapter. That's what we're doing. We're getting it done this month. Proud of you, brother. Do you have any more information on making someone more comfortable when they feel vulnerable? Yeah, let's talk about that. We'll talk about that for a second. How do you make someone feel comfortable when they are vulnerable? I'll do some videos on this too. Right? So, when someone is vulnerable, tension is going to be high. Stress is going to be high. Because the person already, when you're in a vulnerable position, it means I am exposed to something that can harm me. And I can use the horses as an example. Horses by nature are prey animals, meaning they are the animals that get attacked. They are the hunted ones. They are not the hunters. So the horses, their instinct is to run away. Because vulnerability for them means I'm about to get eaten. Right? I'm going to be consumed. I'm going to be attacked. So when a person is in a position of feeling like they are going to be attacked, when they're going to be, abused, their stress level is going to go high because they said, I'm vulnerable. I'm exposed to this. So what do we need to do? Right? If a horse is put into a situation where it is afraid, but it has nowhere to go, it will kick, it will bite, it's going to do whatever it can do to fight. It's the nature of prey. When we are hurt and wounded and stressed, and when we feel vulnerable, we're operating in that prey mentality. That's why we lash out. That's why we fight back. That's why we're on guard. We're like, don't mess with me right now because my back is against the wall. I will come out and get you. Right? So as we look at that, what do we need to do? My first thought is, let's create a safe space. Now, while I create a safe space, that does not necessarily mean that that other person automatically feels safe. Feeling safe, having the stress level go down takes time. I'll give you an example. Someone's all stressed out from work, and then they enter into my massage treatment room. Okay. Well, here's what's going to happen. First of all, there's an atmosphere that's been set. I'm going to have on certain music. I may have aromatherapy going on. I'm going to intentionally do things to help this person's stress level decrease so that they don't feel vulnerable. Then that's one level. Lighting, everything, atmosphere. Atmosphere is important. After that, I'm going to give them instructions. I'm going to let them know what's going to happen so that something is not surprising them. So I want to take away mystery. Atmosphere, the removal of mystery and uncertainty. Mystery means I don't really know what's going to happen. That's uncertainty. So I want to remove that. I'll say, okay, all right, so here's what's going to happen. In a moment, I'm going to leave the room. After I leave the room, you can disrobe. You can put your clothes on this table right here or this chair right here. You can hang them up on these hooks right here. After you get disrobed, I want you to lay down on the table. You'll start off face down. So you can get underneath these top sheets. I'll show them the top sheet. You'll get underneath these top sheets, lay down. And I just want you to lay there and relax a little bit. Before I enter back into the room, I'm going to knock on the door. So you don't have to worry about me just coming in. I'm giving them a picture of what's going to happen. This way they're at peace. I'll knock on the door. Before I come into the room, I'll say, is it okay for me to enter the room? I've already told them that I'm coming in. I already told them that I'm going to knock. But yet I'll still ask, is it okay for me to take this next step? What am I doing? I'm honoring them. I'm honoring where they are. I'm recognizing where they are. I'll wait for them to grant me permission to take the next step. See, it's not about me. I'm there to serve. Is it okay for me to enter back into the room? Yes, okay, come now. I'll enter into the room. I'll close the door. I'll say, okay. Are you comfortable? Yes, I feel comfortable. Is the temperature okay? Yes, the temperature feels fine. All right, great. May I adjust the covering, the top sheet for you? Someone said you should teach OBGYNs around the world. I would. So can I adjust the sheet? Yes, I can adjust the sheet. So I'll adjust the sheet. They're settled in. I say, okay, everything feel good? Do you feel comfortable? Yes, I feel comfortable. All right, great. So now, again, we're just decreasing this stress level. Just going to have you take a few nice deep breaths. Okay? Just take a nice few deep breaths. Boom, they're doing that. You start breathing. Then I'll ask. They're there for a massage, but I'm going to ask, is it okay if I touch you? Yes, it's okay. Okay, I'm going to touch your back now. And I place my hands on their back. I'm not going to just start doing. I'm going to allow them and myself to connect. Like, I want them to know there is another person touching me. I want to be fully present because I'm touching another person's life. And so this thought, this process of helping someone pass vulnerabilities, there are steps to it. There's strategy to it. When I give a massage and I'm in a treatment session with someone, this is someone that within 5-10 minutes of knowing me, they're going to remove their clothes. They're going to lay on the table. And here's one of the most incredible compliments that I've ever received. They fall asleep. A person that didn't know me could remove their clothes, lay underneath the sheet, be in a room with me with the music going on, and then they go to sleep. See, that's what helping someone and serving someone in a place of vulnerability does. It allows them to become a person that could rest. And so there's the goal. I'm going to give to this person. Why? Because I want something back. What do I want back? I want this person to find a place of peace and safety. See, I wanted something. I'm serving something, but I want something. And what do I want? I want their well-being. I want them in a place of peace and safety. Every relationship, we can approach it this same way. You could take the same process for a customer, for a spouse, for your children, for your animals, for your neighborhood, for your house, right? What's the process? What's the process to get the outcome that you desire? What about your dreams? Your dreams right now might be looking at you and saying, like, I'm so uncertain about you. I don't trust you. You say you want me, but you don't really take action. You kind of start and then you stop. I don't know if I really trust you. So your dreams are in this place of vulnerability. Will they happen? Won't they happen? What's your process? How are you going to get there? How are you going to bring peace into a situation? And I believe it comes from this place of knowing that you have value, knowing that you have something to give. I'll be honest. It's not an easy place to get to for some people, because when you go through and you have all these hangups in your mind, and you see yourself as unworthy, as I did. I saw myself as unworthy because a lot of things have been said to me. I can tell you, there are things that were said to me that impacted the way that I moved through life. I was in massage therapy school. There were, I think, four men in the class. There were 4 men in the class. The rest were women. I was the only one that was shaded this shade of brown. So I was already in the class thinking, oh, I'm looking at myself as being different. I'm thinking about what people might think. This was 20 years ago. It wasn't so mainstream. Massage was kind of getting going. And I thought, well, what will people want me as their massage therapist when they see me? And I had to, people of all different races, and well, how will I get clients if let's just say, some people might say, well, his looks, they don't work for me. And I had to wonder, will anyone receive me? Will people that look like me receive me? Will people that don't look like me receive me? Because everybody could have an objection. I'm just being real. These are the things that I process. Well, white people might not think that I'm qualified. White people might not think that I'm qualified. Other people might not think that I'm qualified. All different races. You start processing, and it all goes through this. You're filtering it through things that have been said to you, things that you see out in the world. Just being honest. So that's the stuff sometimes that we're dealing with. You're dealing with things that have been said to you. You're dealing with things that you've heard. You're dealing with things that you've seen. And everywhere I show up, let me just tell you, there's always a little bit of a battle. There's always a battle, because that is your vulnerable place. To make you, that place is going to come back. The attack is going to go to that place to make you feel like you are unworthy. But I'm telling you, my friends, keep going. Keep going. That's the test. See, the test was my skin color going to stop me? Was being a man going to stop me? Think about it. I was a man that wrote out a whole business plan for a chain of 24-hour daycares. You know what was said to me there? That's not normal. That's not natural. Men don't want to work. Men aren't supposed to work with kids. And then people want to make you feel bad for that. But you know what? I had to figure out who I was. I'm like, no, I know I'm a good person to work with children. You know why? Because I'm gifted for that. You know, I'm a Bible guy. I share that. There's a part in the Bible that says the heart of the fathers would turn to the children. I'm like, well, then when, if not me, then who? Who? If I'm not going to be the man that step up, if I can't be the man that can get down on the carpet and play and have fun and give kids a safe experience, then who are we waiting for? See, that's the question. There's this quote in the Bible. If you ever heard of the story of David and Goliath, David, when he's going to fight this giant named Goliath, he says this one statement that changed my whole life. Is there not cause? Meaning, is there not a reason? And so I'm like, no, there's a reason. The reason why I have developed and built great relationships with women is because so many women have had such bad experiences with men. I'm like, I don't want to be that. How will we ever change relationships if nobody shows up? If kids only know women in the classrooms, well, what will the perception of men be? See, I look at it, I'm like, no, you got to do what you're called to do. Don't stop disqualifying yourself. The other day, well, every day, every week, there are always some children in my life. The other day, I was at a preschool. I got invited to a preschool. Whole grown man. Let me just tell you, a whole grown man invited to a preschool. You know what sometimes it feels like? Sometimes I struggle with, like, it seems goofy. Seems like not important until I'm there and I see those kids and they're smiling. And I'm like, no, don't talk yourself out of the impact that you're making. This is an impact. Yeah, no, it might not be. You might not see me posting it. Why? Because they may not want their kids on, like on social media and all this. No, it's not about that. It's about making an impact. Sometimes your impact will go unseen to the masses, but it'll be seen by somebody. So just don't discount yourself. Don't discredit yourself. Whatever you have, however you look, your appearance, your experiences, don't use that to discount yourself. Just keep going. You take a stance. A part of my righteous indignation, you know what I say? This is what I say. I say, I don't want, like I said, I grew up in church, grew up as a church guy, right? Grew up in church, still a part of the church. I hate the fact that so many women that I know only have Jesus as a guy that they could believe in. I'm like, that's terrible. If the women in my life look to Jesus only as their hope for a man, that means I failed. I don't want that. So I look at my Bible and I'm like, oh, this dude, Jesus he was loving and he was kind. And man, people that have been through some rough situations, they could be around him. He didn't like crush them. No, he was encouraging them. He's like, hey, you can do this, encourage them to go forward in life. I'm like, all right, I want that. I want to be that dude. He hung out with guys. They had good relationships. I'm like, I want to be that dude. What do you want? Give out of your life so that you can get something. I learned how to make t-shirts so I could serve. And I see people, girls of all ages, grown women, adults, young girls. I see them wearing the clothes. I see them, right? It makes a difference. Take what you have. I'm telling you, take what you have and just deposit it. Knowing that you are worth it. Knowing that you have value. You have, man, I could just want to beg you to see your value. You have something to give.
In your home, as a parent, you have something to give. There's so much brilliance in you. There's so much greatness in you. As a parent, as a spouse, as an employee, as a boss, there is so much value in you. It's time for us to be convinced that we have value. And I know you might be thinking like, but I've told myself for so long that I don't. Great. Today's the end of that. Today, you can make the shift. Today, you can really look at your life and say, I can become who I am and serve value out of my experiences and if nothing else, out of just my sheer desire to want to make an impact. Like, think about that. What is your desired impact that you want to make in someone's life? If nothing stop you from making that impact, don't worry about money. Don't worry about followers. Don't worry about anything. If you take your life and you say, I want to make this impact. I want people's grass to look like fantastic, like lush, just grass you could just lay in. If that's your thing, then that's the impact you want to make. Do you know someone will drive up into their house and they're going to look at their grass and they're going to be so grateful that you decided to make your impact? Come on now. This is time for you to take your dreams, take your talents, take your gifts, and to serve them. Serve for the sake of making an impact. And I want you to congratulate yourself when you do it. Smile at yourself, high five yourself, like encourage yourself, talk to yourself, tell yourself that you have something to give. Just start rehearsing it, driving down the street, riding the bus, wherever you might be. Just start talking. You're practicing in the kitchen. Just start telling yourself, I'm built for this. I'm great at this. You might be making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Tell yourself, this is going to be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that impacts the life of my child in such a way that they're going to have a great day at school because I made this sandwich this way and I cut the edges off. Like, whatever it is, do not minimize yourself. Don't minimize it. Hey, Carol from New Hampshire. Don't minimize. And I'm telling you, if you get into the practice and the habit of doing it, in the practice and the habit of being and recognizing yourself as a person of value, you will go from being that person that is afraid of doing to being that person that is unsettled if you don't do it. See, if I don't do it, my life, it goes haywire. If I'm not serving, if I'm not showing up, this is like, if I skip doing this, if I skip doing these lives for, if I just said, I'm not going to do any more lives and I'm not going to make any more content, my life would begin to shrivel up. My life would begin to close up because there's something in serving your gift that causes you to open. It causes your heart to open. It causes your mind to open. Like, you're serving, you're giving, gives you a capacity to receive more. I serve because I want to receive. I give a thought because I want to receive a thought. See, there's no reason for you to have a next new idea, a next new step, because you haven't taken the step that is right there for you to take. Don't ask for any more steps. Ask for the strength and the power to do something with the step that is before you right now. Thanks for following. I appreciate that. So that's it. This is how we're going to move from being afraid to dominating life, dominating the moment, embracing this thing we call breath and using the opportunities. I'm going to shut it down the way that I do. I'm going to pray. And so I want you to hang out because you've been here now. So trust me, the prayer is not going to hurt anything. So I appreciate you all for being here. And I'm just excited about your life. I know that someone's life has been impacted. And I know that you're taking action. I'm proud of you. Like I saw Josh writing chapters. We're getting it done. I'm also a horse. Well, before I jump off, I just saw another horse person. I'm also a horse person. How do I serve that? All right. So here's what you do. I'm a horse person. How do I serve it? First of all, that's a great question. How? What can I do? How do I serve? And so you take this idea, you say, how can I serve? And then you begin to look around and you say, what are the needs around me? I'll give you some of my ideas, right? Here's some of the ideas that I've used and that I currently use. I'm a horse person. I have horses. How do I serve it? I have taken horses to schools. I have done birthday parties with horses. I have invited people over that are highly stressed, and I let them just be with my horses and groom them and brush them and just be around them, go for walks with them. I actually take my horses, put them in the hand of another person that wants to get in shape, wants to exercise. And I say, instead of just walking a dog or walking with a person, here you go, take a walk with a horse. And we can go and we're going to walk, right? We're going to take a walk. They can walk for 45 minutes with a horse. I'm adding value. Yes, they pay me, but I'm serving because it's a whole new experience. So don't get caught up on someone paying you because that's just their way of saying thank you. I have girls programs, and the girls, they show up multiple days a week and they have opportunities to have their horse. So however you want to dream. I reached out to a buddy of mine today because we're going to start a new relationship program for married couples. And so these married couples are going to show up and they're going to have a horse, and we're going to go through concepts and aspects of marriage, teaching relationship concepts, communication, trust, boundaries. They're going to use a horse. They're going to work together. They're going to clean stalls. But I'll be sharing some takeaways that they can take home. So it's like a date night and life coaching, marriage coaching all together. See, here's what you have. How do you do it? You become creative. You start saying, what's an opportunity? What's something I can do? Get around someone else. You and I, we could sit together for an hour, and I guarantee you, we could come up with some stuff. The other day on social media, because I have the farm and I know I have these married couples coming to the farm, I asked on social media who wants to have who's wanted to do like luxury picnics, because I said, okay, married couples are coming to the farm, they're going to have the horses and they're going to have that experience, so we can set up luxury picnics for them. I don't necessarily have to be the person that does it, because there's somebody that has a passion for creating luxury picnics and they just love that. So I put it out there. Who wants to do this? Because now I get to bless them with an opportunity. This is it. We just start dreaming. When I told you all, I said, I'm launching the Dream Academy. So I launched the Dream Academy because I know dreamers need to be around other people that are dreaming. And if you know somebody, if you are that person, hey, get connected. Because I know someone is going to take that opportunity to have luxury picnics and they're going to run with it. And I believe someone's business will start. But this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You just start dreaming. Start looking for a way to take what you love and impact somebody around you. You want to be a part of the Dreamers Academy? I'll tell you without shame that you can be a part of the Dream Academy with me. I've at times I've really not wanted to make offers because a lot of social media seems like selling, but I had to get help with that because guess what? There's somebody that needs me. Somebody wants to take another step. Somebody else needs something more in depth. I'm like, no, here, I'm going to help you. I'm going to show up. We're going to talk. We're going to Zoom. We're going to do these things. I'm a helper. I got to show up to help. Lauren, listen, you could horse person. There's so many horse ideas. We can horse idea all day long. Professional development stuff with horses from corporations, teaching. I do a program that I put out from the barn and on the farm, and I send videos out to schools, and teachers show it to their class. The other day before the kids went on spring break, we did a live session and I was live streaming, and they saw me mucking stalls and cleaning the stalls out. And I was asking them, like, okay, so what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And we were talking science and environment. Like, there are no limitations. If you can dream it, there's a good chance we can do it. So you just dream. Take what you have. There's this fantastic quote in the Bible that where God asked Moses, he says, "What's in your hand?" He says, "What do you have?" In other words, don't focus on what you don't have. Think about what you do have. Do you have a phone? Yeah, I have a phone. Does your phone have a camera? Yeah, it has a camera. Do you have a basketball? Yeah, I have a basketball. Do you have a horse? Do you have a saddle? Like, what do you have? What do you have? If you can look at what you have, you can do something with what you have. And if you say this, I only have that means you have something. I only have my story. That means you have something. Everybody has something. You have something. Just need to get around. Yes. See, Mar 5 times 49 says this, I have you. That is so true. That right there, that's the comment. Ding, 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 ding. That bell just went off. I have you. Yeah, this is true. Sometimes you need to look around and see what people you have. You have some people, and I love you back. You have people. See, human resources. Josh Production asked, he's like, how can I pray for you? I can tell you. Someone asked me that today. Here's what I know. You can pray for me. Pray for a grant writer, please. Pray for administrators. Pray for people that want to be boots on the ground and help actually do the physical work. These are things that pray for. You can pray for those things. You can pray for partnerships with businesses that want to provide equipment for the farm so that these young people and adults and these married couples and the people that come for coaching, they can have hands-on experiences with things. Pray for partners that want to drive to make an impact in people's lives. Pray for dreamers that want to show up and be coached and absolutely go for it. I can tell you, if you pray for these things, then lives are going to be impacted. You can pray for funnel builders. You can pray for marketing team. You can pray for like copywriters. Because I'm telling you, camera people, listen, walking around holding that camera, I do okay with it. But I think the quality of things would be higher if there were some people that actually operated the camera. Because then I get focused on what I'm doing and not trying to do both. This is in part, this is why, let me just say this and let me shut it down. This is why you have to charge money, people. Because your dream is going to open up the doors for other people's gifts. And they want to be paid too. They want to be compensated. And it is a blessing. I was in a meeting today with a woman and she got 11% raise. And she has a babysitter. And she had a babysitter. And she paid her babysitter like more money this particular time. And the babysitter told her, said, like, you paid me too much. And she said, oh no. She said, I got an 11% raise, which means you got an 11% raise because you made it possible for me to do what I do. That's awesome, right? That you can, as you're blessed, you're blessed to be a blessing. So the blessing has to hit your hand too. Like I want that. I want that in my life. I want to see people in my life financially empowered in such a way that their lives, their generations, their legacy is able to live on. I think we just got to stop dreaming so small. Like when Oprah Winfrey went off the air, the day that I heard that announcement, I said, "Oh, that's great. Oprah's going off the air. There's an opportunity for me." This was my direct quote. There's an opportunity for me. Oprah's going off the air. There's an opportunity for me to serve people that were once being served by Oprah Winfrey. Oprah. Like, when did she go off the air? So I'm thinking I could step into that space. Bless people, camera people, lighting people, agents, lawyers. All there's so much tied into you. I can just keep on going because this excites my soul. There's something in you. There's an impact for you to make. So just look at your life, look at what's around you, and serve. You stir up that gift within you, from within you, stir up your gift, stir it up. And how do you stir it up? By taking action. Why do I feel like I can't do it? You feel like you can't do it because you're thinking too much. I listen, here's what I know, Lauren. Not only do I know that you can do it, I know that if in 2 minutes of hanging out together, I would provoke you to do something, which is going to put you into action. It's going to send you. See, as long as you're thinking that you can't do it, that means you're staying still. The moment that you start towards it, then you start changing your mindset. So if you think that you can't do it, then here's what we do. What is it that you think you can't do? Oh, I think I can't write a book. Great. That's what you think. Get out a piece of paper, get out a pen, start writing. Write down at the top of your paper, chapter 1, and then you start writing. Or writing something. Start writing. I'm writing chapter 1 because I believe that I couldn't write chapter 1. And while I'm writing chapter 1, believing that I couldn't write chapter 1 is actually getting written. So my belief system is changing because I'm taking action right now. See how it works? See how it works? Like you said you have your saddle from 30 years ago. Okay, here's what you do. You get your saddle out. You start wiping it. You start cleaning it. You start polishing it up. You take a picture on your saddle and you say, this saddle is going to go on my horse, and this horse is going to serve people. This horse is going to go and be inspirational. I'm going to have the inspirational horse that helps people, or I'm going to whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever it is that you see it, and then you just start doing it. See it first. People say seeing is believing. Well, if seeing is believing, then close your eyes and you begin to dream until you see it. See your logo. See somebody wearing it. This is why I think shirts are so cool. Like decorating apparel. I had to learn how to do that. Because if you have an idea, I can put it on a shirt and then it becomes real. But see it. See your logo. See your dream. And then start taking some action towards it. I see myself 100 pounds lighter. Great. Put your shoes next to your bed. Lay out your clothes. Tomorrow, when you wake up, go for a walk. Go for a 5-minute walk. Go for a 3-minute walk. Go for a 2-minute walk. But you put on those shoes, you put on those clothes, and you go out and walk, and you take a picture of yourself, and you say, today is the last day that I will be here. My life is forever changed because I'm taking action. Action. Lights, camera, action. I just, you are so possible. The dreams in you are so possible. But I get it. I get it. I get it because I didn't always believe either. But on the other side, it's good. It's good. So get going. Just keep Keep defeating your doubts with action. Thank you for taking the time. I have the idea, have the vision, I have the horse brushes and everything. Good. Find one person. Lauren, here's a challenge for you. Challenge for everybody. Find one person that you can help. Find one person. One person. Other than yourself, find one person. Just start asking people. I'm supposed to be off this a little while ago, but look, when I was in massage therapy school, before I was labeled as a massage therapist, I was in massage therapy school. And in massage therapy school, we had to do what we called practice sessions. And so what we had to do was we had to get people that would allow us to practice on them. Do that. Tell somebody, say, listen, I'm not a massage therapist yet. I haven't achieved that. I haven't fully finished my certification. Would you allow me to practice? I have a sequence. When you do a massage session, we have sequences. I need to practice my sequence. Can I practice this sequence on you? And then you can give me feedback. Let me know what you think about it. Can I practice? Are you willing to allow me to practice with you? Invite somebody into your space. Bake some of your cookies. Say, listen, I'm testing out a new recipe. I'm practicing. Are you willing to taste this? Take your life, whatever it is, whatever your dream is, take it and just ask somebody to tell them, I'm not where I'm going to go. I'm not where I'm going to be one day, but can I practice? Will you allow me to just share? This is my heart's passion. This is my desire. I want to serve. I want to make an impact. Will you allow me to practice with you? Someone said, no way, you only got 12 people in here. Guess what? Let me just tell you. Here's the truth. I was looking at my my Facebook the other day, and I was going through, and you know what? There were so many videos that I did. There was no one there. I was just talking to myself. So everybody that's here right now, it's huge to me. If one person showed up, that's a big deal to me. Do you know why? Because one person, if their life has changed and impacted, I've impacted the life of a person. That is huge. Such a big deal. Such a big deal. So I appreciate one. One makes a big deal. One makes a big difference. One more quote from the Bible, because there's this part where Jesus says that he'll leave the 99 to go get the one. And so it always goes back to how important one person is. He's like, I'll leave 99 to get the one. I'm not going to just let that one person just be out there. That one matters. And so you're the one. Like, you are the one. And so I believe that if I can love one person enough, that they're going to move forward in life and that they find that joy and fulfillment in living. If I can help rescue someone out of being depressed or down or giving up on hope, like, that's the job. That's the mission. So that's what it is. That's why I'm here. And I want it to be recognized. I want that to be. See, I think we get it twisted. But I subscribe to, and I believe that I am, like, my purpose is to be known by love. Not not religion, none of that, not titles, because none of that matters. You can have titles, you can have religion, you can have all kinds of practices, but if it doesn't translate into love, then it's just like banging pots and pans. It's just it's just noise. It means nothing. It means you just go through the motions. It means nothing because love makes a difference in a person's life. And so tonight, if someone is loved to the point of taking action where something in your life is being revived and renewed and refreshed, and something, dare I say, is being resurrected, something that you thought was dead but now is coming back to life, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That your life would come back to life. That you would not only be living, but you would have life even more abundantly. That's, come on now. That's why we have to show up. That's why we have to change on the inside to know that we have value, because your value shows up for someone in this world, and it's the love that they're looking for. They'll never know me. They'll know you. So you have to show up with the love that you have, that with the love that you've been working on. Ask someone, can I practice loving you? I may not get it all right. Ask your spouse, ask your child, ask your family member, ask someone, can I love you? Can I practice loving you? I may not get it all right, but I want to practice each and every day. And I thank you for allowing me to practice loving you. Like this practice, this discipline, the effort of sharing and giving. I appreciate. I know I was supposed to be off like a long time ago. Certainly not an hour and a half. You probably like, that's a long time. Right. So Instagram just kicked me off. They just shut me down. I don't even know what happened there. Just, it says your account has been temporarily locked. I said that and Instagram kicked me off. I don't know. Maybe it was too much love. I don't know. But TikTok and YouTube and Facebook still going strong. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I'm 53 and I want to make a difference. Love of horses and so much more. 53, perfect time to make a difference. You look at your age, whatever your age is, it's the perfect time. Here's what I believe. I believe in the grand scheme of everything. You may have heard this phrase before. Let there be light. I believe in the grand scheme of everything. When those words were spoken, let there be light. I believe that it was done in general, but I believe that it was very specific. And I believe that the specific direction pointed to a moment in time, being moment in time, the moment in time where you were born, the moment in time where you realize that you have purpose and potential. Let there be light, I believe, speaks directly to your existence, because you and I are meant to be the light of the world. So the light of the world was ordained and meant for a particular moment. So this moment pointed to a particular time. Let there be light. On my birthday, March 15th, 1978, let there be light. This moment on this live broadcast, let there be light. Wherever you show up, that's the moment where you are supposed to be the light that shows up. Let there be light. If you are darkness, if you don't let your light shine, if you don't let your brilliance shine, then that moment is missing light. Your brilliance, in other words, the light within you, is meant for a particular time. And this is the time. This is the time that we have. So guess what? Wherever you show up, have a little pep talk with yourself and say, let here be light. And I'm going to be the light that shows up. Tell yourself, I'm going to be the light that shows up. I have worth and value. I have brilliance. The brilliance in me is meant for this moment, so I'm going to shine. And I'm not going to hide my light under a blanket or in a closet. No, I'm not hiding it under a rock. No, not burying it. I'm meant to shine. So there we go. Take it, run with it, illuminate, be bright, be brilliant, shine on. Love you much. Let's pray. Father, thank you for this day that you've made for us to rejoice and be glad. And thank you for the opportunities that you've given us to be with each other. Thank you for the hope, the encouragement, the life that was in this moment. Thank you for each and every person that has been here and how everyone added something to the moment. The this moment was different for all of us. We had never experienced it before, and so we're appreciative of something brand new in our lives. This can be a transitional moment, and I pray for each of us that it is. I pray that thing about our lives is forever different, and we look at life differently because of this time that we've had together. I pray for someone who has been discouraged for a long time. I pray that that discouragement tonight was broken. I pray that hope is being restored. I pray that love is being restored. I pray for a new energy, a new fire, new dreams, new ideas. I pray for the next steps to be taken. I pray that somebody that had felt like they had reached the end got a fresh new breath of life. And I pray that they are fired up and they're getting ready to go out into the world, into the environment around them and make the difference that they are meant to make. I pray that someone's light is turned up in their life, that no brilliance is held back. I pray for each of these world changers that have been gifted with a specific purpose, with talent and abilities and capabilities. I pray for them that they would take what they have, that they would see it and that they would use it to be the difference in this world. I see it. I see it done. Set them on fire and let them go out to be a blazing light that shines. Thank you in advance for what is going to happen. I pray miracles would happen, signs and wonders would follow the actions that are taking place as each one goes out. I pray that their life would be blessed financially, relationally, in their health, in their mindset, in their heart. I pray that you would bless them tremendously. I pray that you would open up the windows of heaven, pour out such blessings that there's not even room enough to receive it. We thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So let it be. Let it be done. Let's go. I appreciate you all. It's been fantastic. Thanks for your presence and encouragement, not only to me, but to one another. Thanks for dreaming. And more importantly, thanks for doing. Thanks for taking action with what you've seen for your life, the ideas. Don't let this just be an inspirational moment. Please don't let it be that. Let it be a life-changing moment. You got this. Trust me. And if you need a little encouragement, connect with me and just be like, Brian, can you just say the thing that you said so I can go? I appreciate you all. Tears are welcome here. So you said you're crying? Tears are welcome. Sometimes we need those. Sometimes the heart knows and it just needs to let it out. And the eyes work together. Josh, keep on writing. Good stuff, everybody. Have a fantastic night. I appreciate you. I'm B.A. Shepherd, 2 P's, A-R-D, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Love you much. See ya.